One dark afternoon, like a shadow, I flew through the rain that fell sick with lament to this house of incest. For when we undressed, blasphemies against Venus were rent. Though a sister removed, her wet body approved the parade of my heavenly quests. Yet all tongues are not true, some are forked or askew, like an uncivil serpent's at best. For ousted from Eden, I fousted all reason, hook in mouth like Saint Peter Pan, to haunt fairy groves and hot virgin coves wherein the promiscuous swam. I elected lovers and rejected others, Mephistresses that don't give a damn. But in those that still do, my deep interest grew, the rise of the true pentagram.
What is going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Project Manga podcast, where we cover One Piece, My Hero, Black Clover, The Promised Neverland, Chainsaw Man, No Longer Samurai 8, and Jujutsu Kaisen, week to week. How's it going?
Rip Samurai 8 once again, one more time.
Rip Samurai 8. Back this week, covering Weekly Shonen Jump issue number 18?
Yes.
I'm your host, Eagle.
Hey, it's Kiko.
Noxie.
And Nickums.
And as always, before we get started, we would just like to say go ahead and visit that link tree in the description box down below, where you can find links to any and all of our online communities, audio listening platforms to consume the podcast on, and links to support the podcast if you would be so generous. And with all those words said, how you guys feeling about this week in Jump?
Chainsaw Man.
Chainsaw Man.
That's all I'm gonna say.
Yumimo!
and Black. Okay. Chainsaw Man, Black Clover, My Hero Academia.
I was gonna say all the chapters except for one.
Except for one.
But Chainsaw Man
one
really has me on some oh my god shit right now.
Chainsaw Man.
Oh my god, though.
It's like, holy shit, Fujimoto's really trying to take over Jump right now.
Yeah.
Like, you can tell.
It's working.
Yeah.
It's working.
I swear to God, bro.
Yeah, he's not playing.
Well, yeah.
Hell yeah.
Okay.
Not playing no games.
No.
With that being said, we can move into, let's get just right into the meat of this thing. Chapter 101 of Jujutsu Kaisen, the Shibuya Incident, Part 19.
Yeah.
And, man, all I gotta say is, like, oh my god,
Well,
Yo,
before that even though,
yeah, that's way at the end of the chapter.
Before that even though, fucking, we got a really nice conversation in the beginning about the survival of Ichichi, which I called, by the way. Right. I didn't call it, like, okay, so like when Ichichi got stabbed in that chapter, I think what I said on the episode was, oh, but he's been rolling with Gojo forever, and we never really saw him activate, so like, one, I doubt he's dead. Two, I bet like if anybody else is gonna like be someone who can use reversal, reverse Jutsu Shiki or whatever to heal themselves, I bet you this is gonna be the first example that we see of it, because Ichichi, I don't know. I just wanted him to survive, and I was trying to reach for a reason why he could. And just that he's been around for so long, and he rolls with Gojo, and he rolls with Nanami, and whatnot. I just thought that would be a good opportunity there. But it looks like he just survived, like, barely. And he's being, like, healed by, like, someone else or whatever.
Well, Nanami treated him.
Yeah, Nanami treated him right away when he saw him, right? Yeah.
Yeah. So,
yeah.
How about, I was going to say, Nobara is really the next thing.
Yes, exactly.
After that. I really don't think she's going to be sidelined, right? Because that's kind of what it looks like is happening, right? Yep. She's going to get the Sakura treatment. We're going to put her in the corner for 500 chapters.
Hell no.
I don't think that's going to happen. I hope that Handyman's still alive out here, going to try to... because he still had marks, right?
Yeah, right. And I just think that this conversation with Nanami, and like her performance in the fight with Handy Hup, is gonna give her, like a completely different like mindset going into future confrontations in the story, right? And as much as I would have wanted, like, I just think that this is a good opportunity for the development of her character, and as much as I would have loved to see her go absolutely nuts on the hand sword dude and pull out like a fat W, like for her first like real 1v1 in the series. Like I'll take development over that any day. You know what I mean? So like it just feels like M.A.N.G.A is like setting up something majorly significant for Nobara's character later on in the arc, and that's why he's like giving us like, you know.
Well, that's not to say it can't be the fight with Hup. You know,
he
could get up and she could have that fight.
Yeah.
She was said wait here, and she could wait right there, and there'll be a fight coming her way pretty soon, I'm sure.
Right.
Yeah. Hopefully. I would hate to. The only chance for her to get a full power real fucking fight in this arc was interrupted by Nanami, and even still, even if you know Handy comes and fights her, it's still a little bit diminished that, you know,
because
Nanami already worked half of his Jutsu Shiki. If that's how it works, you know, half of it was already cleaned off him. So, you know, I mean, regardless though, I mean, as long as she has big moments, some big, you know, some stakes too, like, so she's going to have to protect Nita? Nita. So
honestly, as long as she performs on the same like keel as Megumi and Yuji, then that's all that we can. That was all that we can ask for, because like everyone's talking about how like underwhelming Nobara seems in comparison to Yuji and Megumi this arc, when it's like the only fight that they've had was a 2v1 situation, and then her situation,
and Yuji and the grasshopper, but
but that's a curse, right? So like if Nobara low diffs a fucking curse, you know, that she's like right back up there, because honestly Nobara's situation was a 2v1 against her, really, because the sword has a mind of its own, so it's really like she was fighting two people at once, and
probably
and Yuji, like in his first 1v1 situation, has already taken significant damage here. So in a 1v1 situation, he's already doing worse than Nobara did before she got interrupted. So as long as she stays on, you know, par with how the other two perform, then I think that people will come out of this arc with, you know, feeling just fine, about her character,
I think so. You can tell Nanami is very upset still after this fight. He is barely telling her, like, you would just get in the way. Like, he's like, talking
this is
really
grade
slow.
one time, baby. Wow.
He's seen enough people die, I guess.
Right. And I'm sure that's coming from a place of you know, of concern and care, and not on some like you're trash, you know what I'm saying?
No, absolutely.
It's definitely on some like I don't want to see no more people, like you said, take no more L's. Absolutely.
So really the next thing after this,
young up and comers.
I know
like these are students here, you know what I'm saying? Like
that would hurt the most, definitely. But the next thing really after this is May here.
Fuck yeah.
And so obviously we can talk about the curse in this whole, you know, thing, but I kind of want to just highlight that she already mentioned that her Jutsu Shiki is just the crows. So she's taijutsu basically, right? Like, it's just like base, you know, it's just like
axe and
it's like the advanced like blanket like nen techniques that anybody can learn, like Ryu, Shu and shit. That's what she, I was going and she's a grade 1 with just those basically, because all she has is basically like satellite tombo. You know what I mean? Like
we talked about this before. That's why I wanted to refresh, because I mean, it's refreshing to see these types of characters where it's like, you know, Maki doesn't have a Jutsu Shiki, but she's still all taijutsu, you know, like we're definitely I'm getting a fair amount of everything. Everything.
And Kusakabe, the dude that's with Panda, doesn't have a fucking technique either, they said. He's just straight hands, probably just a martial artist.
Oh, wow, really?
Yeah, that's what they said. I think someone made a comment a couple chapters ago about how, I think it was Mei talking to Yuji before they broke apart. And she was like, you're just like Kusakabe, you know what I mean? Like, you're prodigious in these areas in curse, you know, in curse fighting without a technique, you know what I mean? And it's like, there's strong motherfuckers out there that don't have a technique, just like Kusakabe, I think is what she said.
That's what I mean. That, okay, we got somebody who doesn't have a Jutsu Shiki at all, who fights with curse tools only. We got somebody who has a Jutsu Shiki that's suited for reconnaissance, but she's a beast fucking physically, and with, you know, the other, you know,
she even says it too. She's like, I wonder when the last time I was in danger for even a moment was with her fucking axe and shit. That shit had me like, Bay?
That man, I'm kind of glad you said that though, because I feel like that's almost a death flag. Like once she catches up to Geto, then Geto's about to fucking smack the shit, and it's gonna be a big deal right in front of her brother, and her brother's something to talk about. I'm so tired of this kid, man.
Yeah.
Our big Aoyama energy right now from this team.
No,
I hate any kids. I hate any.
No, you said for real. Don't take it back. You know.
I think I probably said that maybe, but either
not
way,
Aoyama.
I could see Wee Wee in the fucking windowsill with some cheese too, but for Mei Mei. In Mei Mei's window with cheese at 2 a.m.
I mean, I'll pass.
He's not as clean as I am.
I mean, that's all I got.
He's a bitch.
Anyway, but okay. So like one thing I wanted to highlight.
He's a little snobby rich kid.
One thing I wanted to highlight about Mei Mei's like exchange with Geto, right, is that she says to him like her deductive reasoning is cold-blooded, right, because she's like saying all these things about like Gojo killed this guy. How is he here right now? This has to be a fake. Unless Gojo is teamed up with Geto, but no, Gojo can kill all of Japan by himself, so there's no... That was crazy to hear.
Yeah.
That was fucking crazy to hear, but then she's like, okay, so this has got to be a fake then. Like, Gojo wouldn't team up with this dude, blah, 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 and that was really cool. But then as soon as he used curse manipulation, she kind of second-guessed herself there, too. Yep. So, like, I don't know how she really feels about Geto, but the crazy thing that she said was, I had my money on you that you would surpass Gojo. And I don't know if she really meant that, or if she was just saying that to piss him off, like, I thought you were going to be the tightest one, but guess not. You know what I mean? Like...
I kind of took that as she was saying that I was just partial to her, you know, or to Geto, you know.
Yeah.
I don't know.
No, she's specific, like in the dialogue that we got.
Yeah.
She specifically said, "I thought you were gonna surpass him."
Yeah, she did.
Yeah, I thought you were gonna end up being stronger than him. Is what she said. But I don't think that I really don't think that that's how she like actually felt about that. I think that was her trying to be what's the word I'm looking for? I don't know. I just think that she was trying to get under his skin, you know what I mean?
Yeah. I think so for sure, yeah.
But and then he makes a comment about how when he was fighting Yuta, he used all of his curses back a year ago or whatever when the Yuta situation happened in the prequel series. And but he was talking about how even though I don't have all basically damn near 5,000 of my curses anymore, like the curses I do have, like my curse potency,
well, he built it back up.
He built it back up, but I think he was specifically saying that he is nowhere near that kind of like curse, like military might anymore. But he said that the quality is still up there. His curses have only decreased in quantity, not quality, basically. Yeah, which was really cool to hear. Then he busts out a fucking curse that uses a domain expansion on its own. He pulled the curse out and then walked away and then went into a domain. That's fucking nuts.
Yeah, love the design on this thing too.
Yes, and it's the fucking smallpox curse, the fucking disease curse,
the coronavirus
curse. Shout out to Tess though in the fucking Jujutsu Kaisen like shamans group chat that I'm in on Twitter, because he definitely called this like months ago, like we better see a fucking crazy disease curse, and I mean like it's kind of expected when you think about things that are scary, but like it's cool to like actually like see that. You know what I mean? Because this is a fucking smallpox deity. What a fucking cool name, right?
Yeah.
Like, but so like this domain that they enter. So like, did we not get a name for the domain expansion because it's a curse, or did we not get a name for the domain expansion because it's not like complete and it's like not like a real deal like domain?
That's a good question. I mean,
because is it like a chimera shadow god? No, because it looks like it's actually all encompassing, all in a full completed. Because like when you look at the incomplete domain inside of Megumi, the Chimera Shadow Garden, it looked like it was just a domain like on the surface level of the ground, and it didn't like make a whole dome.
Sure.
You know what I mean? So like, but this
it's weird. Like it goes out above the curse.
Yeah.
But it's only obviously the cube shape, rectangle cube shape of a coffin that they put.
But there's also like a graveyard in the background.
Yeah, there's this graveyard around.
Yeah.
So it's on it's in the form of that coffin, and then also like on the ground at the very least.
Oh, but, yeah, I see what you mean.
Yeah, but like if it's a full dome, I think that's what like confirms that it's a complete territory, maybe. Because I don't remember Megumi's Shadow Garden being like a whole new space.
How May can just break out of a territory physically, you know, like.
Well, that was just an attack inside of the territory.
Yeah,
so the territory attack.
Not the territory itself.
Right. So one thing about domain expansions is that once you're inside of it, unless you expand your own territory, you have to get hit by the effects inside of it. And she definitely got put in the box and hit by the rock. She just was strong enough to break out of that attack. I don't think that she could break out of the actual domain itself, because one thing that was talked about in like the fucking Junpei arc was when
you can't break out of one from
the inside because the user wants you to stay inside of their territory, so they have the advantages. But then Yuji and Nanami was inside of the territory, but then Yuji was able to break inside because there's no reason why you would strengthen the outside of the barrier of the domain, because if someone comes inside, then they're at a disadvantage. But then as soon as he gets inside, he's Sukuna'd.
Sukuna activated.
And it didn't matter that he was in there.
What the fuck?
Yeah. But yeah, I think, but anyway, like also like the thing about like domain expansions is like, okay, if you're tight enough to cast one, does that mean that no matter who's inside of one, no matter who's inside of it, no matter how strong they are, is at a significant disadvantage? Because if this curse on its own is significantly weaker than Mei, and it casts
out domain him. She can
if she has if she has an expansion of her own, which would be really cool to fucking see. If she does have one,
it's fucking Itachi's Genjutsu. A ton of crows flying around.
But if she does have a domain expansion, then why would she make that comment? Is this the first time my life has been in danger? Once the domain expanded around her, if she had a domain of her own to counter it, then I don't think she would have made that dialogue. Yeah.
Well,
because I feel like even if somebody does have a domain, like that's a domain is still a dangerous thing. Like it's not something to be.
Yeah.
Because I mean, the example we have of somebody overpowering somebody else's domain
is Gojo.
Right? Overpowering Jogo. So it's like, could she flex the same way?
Man, I would love to see it. I would love to see that.
What's the level, right? Like, okay, if this curse's domain is a 7 out of 10 and hers is an 8 out of 10. Is that strong enough, or does it have to be a 10 out of 10 to break a 7? You know, like
that's a good question.
What's the scale like on how to overpower a domain?
And what's great about Jujutsu Kaisen is I feel like we're going to get that information at some point in the series. You know what I mean? It's definitely not like a Chainsaw Man where like things are left ambiguous forever. You know what I mean? Like and maybe not so much forever, but like it just seems like there are so much things that happen inside of that story that are just a complete mystery and left to conjecture. But like inside of Jujutsu Kaisen, there's like a fucking standard set that Gege wants us to know as much as we can about it, but at the appropriate times. Fujimoto inside of Chainsaw Man, it's just like, good luck, guys. You know, like.
So is this Smallpox Devil the same? Maybe not the same class, but the same type of thing as Mahito, as the volcano curse guy, the flower curse Kahanami, or I forget all their names or whatever. All these other
were they even special grade?
Yeah, absolutely.
Because they can talk. They seem to like talk and have plans.
If you're cognizant enough to have a conversation with me, you're a special grade curse.
And so are you all thinking that this is not a special grade curse? It's like, you know, because smallpox has been basically eradicated in humanity, especially in Japan, maybe no one's really afraid of smallpox anymore, so maybe it's not quite a special grade anymore.
It was, that's what allows it to have a domain.
Yeah, exactly. Like that theoretically it's that dangerous or something.
Well, it's a special grade. It's
gotta be, right? Otherwise, why would a grade 1 sorcerer worry about it?
Brain-kun Geto says that it's special grade.
He does
say
special grade.
Yeah.
So do you then? I guess that leads my question is: do you think this thing does talk? You know, it is saying commands for its ability or whatever. Is it just as smart as the other ones? We've only seen it for a few pages. You know what I mean? But like this thing could be quite a formidable opponent.
Yeah.
I mean,
especially if it starts talking.
System? Is there a ranking system within special grade curses? You know, like.
Like right? Yeah. I think we might.
Well, there has to be, right? Because Sukuna was also classified as a special grade curse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he reigns supreme among them. So yeah. So there's at least the Sukuna echelon, and then everything else. So so at the very least, there's that. Yeah. Mm-hmm. But okay, so like moving away from, unless you guys had something else you wanted to say about this situation, because I need to go into Choso and Yuji right now, bro. Okay, no words at all.
Yeah.
Confrontation, eyes meet, attacks. That's it. Where was Choso for our Smoke Demons fucking episode, bro? Yeah. Like, what?
For real.
Yeah.
Like, bro, he literally said, Yuji?
My brother's deaths?
Blood piercing. Yeah, exactly. My brother, internal monologue, that's it. My brother's deaths. Boom, piercing. And then we get this crazy speed feat from Yuji because the blood piercing technique breaks the sound barrier, and he reacts to it.
Yeah.
So
I looked up. It's 767 miles an hour.
That's right. So now we know that Yuji is above the speed of sound, which like isn't too surprising because like honestly, like even though that we haven't had like a verbal, in lore like confirmation, of his speed being above that level, he's been racking up speed and strength feats throughout the series.
I mean, the first chapter is him throwing a shot put to Mexico, right? Like,
Man, that's crazy to think about, like, because if you really think about that, in actuality, that means like if he blitzes you to hit you, by the time you hear the sound of his feet taking off of the ground, he has already punched you.
But like reactionary speed is a little bit different than like cognizant, like offensive speed.
As fast as the sound reaching your ear.
Right. Yeah, so that's on defense. That's on defense, right? So like you kind of like go into Sonic like a different go into a different state of like being like on defense when you're in like when you're put into like a fight or flight like kind of situation,
right?
Like when
his instinct is slightly enhanced, so he probably guarded a little earlier than he would. He didn't even know he should guard.
Exactly. Kind of like
I should really guard, right?
Yeah, kind of like how like you hear about how like people get like super strength when their like kids are in danger, like that dude who like lifted that car off of his like son or some shit. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like it's kind of like probably. Like
I think it was a woman, or it's probably happened.
But that's what I'm saying. You know what I mean? Like when you're forced into like a fight or flight response, you're going to have like enhanced like extra normal, like abilities or whatnot in that kind of situation. So I doubt that on offense he'll be able to do like something like that. At least not right now. But anyway, that's a feat is a feat, and that's crazy. But then he gets hit with that. Then he sends another one at him and is like. Like kind of like it seems like it's kind of like curving around, like trying to get him, like homing, and he's like dipping around, like trying to go, and then he hits him with the divergent fist, and the divergent fist doesn't really do anything. So like that's like kind of like his go-to, technique since he doesn't have like a jutsu shiki. Mm-hmm. So he's like, like he incorporates what Juryoku he does have into his martial arts in the form of divergent fist, and Choso's kind of like, okay. That's kind of weird that it's like a double impact. All right, like whatever, but he eats it, right? So
it may not have been an overly strong attack. I mean, like, maybe I do it quickly or something. I mean, it does. I definitely agree with you.
It might not have been divergent fist, even though it is a double attack. I don't know. Maybe it was a feint. I don't know, to make him think that next time when he does use divergent fist, he's going to think that double attack's coming, and it's not going to be bad. But that second one's about to blow his ass away.
Yeah, it could be something like that.
I definitely.
Yuji's got this.
Always go for it. Oh, I was gonna say. No. He definitely, Yuji seems to be hinting at some. He's gonna try and be sneaky and strategic in this fight, right? So like when he blocked that shot, it hurt his left hand. You can see his left hand is bleeding, and he goes, dang, like I really can't move my left arm, but I'm going to keep using it anyway.
Right.
Potentially to trick the other guy into thinking all I got is my left.
And then he's gonna black flash with his right.
Yes, with his right, exactly.
Yeah, okay. But see, like that's what I'm thinking. Like if the divergent fist isn't
Mm-hmm.
effective, then he's gonna have to step it up to black flash if he can do it. Because,
but that is assuming that he did a full power divergent fist. He did try. Right. He did, and it didn't work.
Yeah.
He could be holding back slightly. He could have. I think there's like maybe some strategy involved here.
Go ahead. In that panel right after, it looks like almost the face he's making looks almost like either he messed up or he just had a lot of pain.
You're totally right.
Either one of those two would keep it from being full power.
Because didn't he punch him with the hand that got hit by the blood piercing attack?
Yes. That's what Nick's talking about.
Yeah. That's right. Okay. So
maybe he's just weaker from that.
Right.
Yeah. That's why it didn't really pop as
But
much.
Yuji's right-handed though.
Yeah.
So,
but again, sneakiness.
You're right. Yeah. Okay. But see, like what I'm kind of like thinking of a situation here is that like think about like the full course of this fight. So like even if he didn't use Divergent Fist right here, his weakened arm tried to attack him in a way that seemed like Divergent Fist. So like if he does go in to start using full power Divergent Fists with his right hand, is that enough to take out Choso? Probably not. So Choso is the kind of person where he would need to pull out a Black Flash for it, even considering that he hasn't used one yet in this arc. So then he'll get a Black Flash there, but I don't think that's going to be enough to actually like win him the fight inside of Black Flash. So I can see him trying the Divergent Fist. Maybe it does something a little bit more, but not enough to finish him. Okay, I need to upgrade to Black Flash. He takes a little bit more damage, uses the Black Flash in a moment of stress, and it does significant damage, but still not enough to finish it off. Now Choso is aware of Black Flash, and hopefully he can spam it like kind of like the way that he did in fucking Goodwill event, but there's not a guaranteed chance of that anyway, because that's not just an attack that you can normally spam. So like what's next? You know what I mean? And I think that this would be a really good opportunity in this 1v1 fight with this special grade human curse hybrid for him to start tapping into Sukuna's Juryoku. And maybe in this fight, and considering the stakes of it, he inherently or subconsciously uses a brand new Jutsu Shiki all his own, using Sukuna's Juryoku that he would have to tap into, because I don't think this is going to be a situation where he actually where Sukuna's going to come out and take over him. But like, I don't think
he needs any help from Sukuna
at all.
No,
with one arm.
Yeah,
he's Choso.
Figure it out. He's gonna figure it out. Yeah,
what does he got?
Sukuna. So here's the thing: is I don't know what he has. Yeah. I mean, it's hard to say. I mean, Black Flash. Black Flash, yeah, and Divergent Fist or whatever. Like those are both attacks that he still has technically with a good arm, and he's a enhancer type, and Choso is probably a transmuter type or whatever.
Right.
So he's about to get one shot once he gets hit with the full power anyway. But maybe not.
So you think he's a glass cannon?
Not so much a glass cannon. I think he's more of a type that is a 60% physical, 100% technique. If you had to put numbers on what their proficiencies are.
Right.
Obviously this blood manipulation technique is you need a high level of ability to do this technique. Right. It's a Kamo clan. It's a Kamo clan fucking technique that's been passed down. Yeah. Which is we still don't know why Choso and his family has it. I don't think, right? But anyway.
So, yeah.
But anyway, if Sukuna's coming out, it's gonna be later. It's going to be. I agree. It's after Yuji's fucked up in this fight. He is going. Obviously, he's not leaving this fight unscathed. He's already been scathed. So
I think that's he's going to take more reason for him to eventually have to tap into. Maybe not fully.
It could be.
It couldn't be like a full like Sukuna like situation, but it could be like a. It could be like a in times of stress. Like I need something a little bit more than what like my normal arsenal is.
I was gonna ask over and under Shibuya incident part 40. How long to take till we get there? So that's what I'm saying.
Much
like
more left of this.
Exactly. That's why I feel like Sukuna's coming, but it's later. Like I think there's just too much time.
Maybe Sukuna can come in a small amount now and then a greater amount later. Yeah,
that's very true. I'm not saying that's impossible.
I think you're definitely right that Yuji cannot keep going to battles forever, only doing Divergent Fist and Black Flash.
Right.
You can't take that train all the way to the end.
But at the same time,
so eventually
something
more will happen.
But at the same time,
something more will happen. But I actually agree with Kiko. I do not think this is the.
Right.
I think he could get out of this with just Black Flash.
So when he earlier in the series when he was first learning about Juryoku and Gojo was teaching him with the DVDs and the examples and whatnot of like curse power versus curse technique, he was talking about how Yuji doesn't have enough Juryoku on his own to develop a Jutsu Shiki, and if he did, he would have had one, you know, by the age of like 6 or 8 or whenever they manifest, but he didn't get Juryoku for real like that until he ate the finger, so it was highly unlikely that he would actually develop a Jutsu Shiki of his own, and that's why he had to incorporate the Juryoku that he does have now into his martial arts in the form of Divergent Fist and then eventually Black Flash. But like, I'm thinking that like if he is going to tap into Sukuna, I just want to eliminate as many Naruto parallels as possible, and I don't want it to be like a tag you're in kind of situation, like give me your Sukuna 100% tried and true Sukuna techniques, because we know that Sukuna had his own Jutsu Shiki, domain expansion, what have you. I don't want to see Yuji bring in those all entirely of, you know, Sukuna, but I would love to see Sukuna live vicariously through Yuji in the form of him tapping into Sukuna's Juryoku and developing Jutsu Shiki that are wholly unique to himself. And I was thinking about what that could be and how cold-blooded would it be if the Jutsu Shiki that Yuji develops is like an extension, solidification, and manipulation of Juryoku in the form of 2 more arms that can all use fucking Black Flash. So he mimics Sukuna in the form of having 4 arms, but then is Black Flashing as if he's fucking Yuji and Divergent Fisting, like, in a Machamp kind of like way. And that's like...
that'd be cool.
Yeah, you know, and that's like his like final form of like this arc. You know what I mean? That would be so sick, bro. I don't think we'll see it in this fight, but...
I like the idea. It'll be tight. I just Yuji. It's just like what. It's kind of like a empty palette, right? Like anything could kind of happen with Yuji right now. Like there's so many possibilities that it's so hard to. I mean, yeah, I do want him to stay. Obviously, he's going to stay in the physical realm, right? Like in the taijutsu realm. But I would like if he could do
a technique,
something, a little bit more. Like, and I don't know, like not. And it reminds me too of Tien from the fucking first, tournament. Dude. He had the 4 arms.
Yes. Fuck yeah.
Yeah, it'll be tight. I hope we at least get his technique furthered in this arc, regardless of what it is.
Yeah, absolutely. But, that's all I had though.
So
did you have something? Wait, are you gonna say something about the chapter, Eagle?
I was just gonna say, did his brothers leave any final words?
Oh yeah, he does say that, doesn't he?
No.
Did they in the?
I can't remember if they did or not.
I don't remember.
I don't know, but I did.
I
did want to talk about this because that question. That does a few things here. Like, if one forces Yuji to like realize the consequences of what he's done more, because that's kind of been the theme of this so far. And even though he knows, I don't know, there's probably going to lead up to dialogue that's going to make this an emotionally heavy fight. Further. And so
I agree.
And it also like broadens Choso's character a little bit. He's not solely bent on revenge. He, and though we have seen that he does care about his brothers, he's not just a one-note character. Even if he's about to be, even if he's done, even if Yuji kills him right here and he's done forever, at least you felt like
he had a little bit more depth than a usual one and done fight character. Definitely, for sure. Yeah, dude.
Well, I think that about wraps it up for the Jujutsu Kaisen segment.
Yeah, dude.
So with that, we can go ahead and move on to chapter 64 of Chainsaw Man. Welcome to hell.
What the hell, dude?
Chapter of the week.
Chapter of the fucking week, bro. I think I
arms
agree.
Coming up like like straight the hell.
Bro, what got me was the fucking astronauts cut in half leading up to the Darkness Devil's entrance. That shit was great, dude. Fujimoto is in the Felix the Cat bag right now, fam. He's pulling everything out for this arc right now.
To go back a little bit before that, I mean, there's a lot in these dialogues generally. I mean, the fiends are freaking out. I mean, all the Angemon's freaking out.
Yeah.
And then you hear
Quan Chi's asked to kill herself.
Yeah. Permission to kill myself. Then we hear about devils far more fearsome than where right now so far. I mean, it's all been gun devil. You know what I mean? Like this is like super bad devil.
Primal fear.
These are fears that you've always had. Because I think when you're born,
deep water.
Yeah, I think I read something because when I had my kid, I was like researching like things about like having children or whatever, and I saw something that said the only fears you're born with are loud noises and heights. And then now, you know, or fear of falling, rather. Yeah. Sure. So like falling and loud noises. So like this chapter made me think back to that of like what other primal fears like are they? And if those are the ones you're born with, then like the echelon like outside of that has got to be like darkness. Yeah. Fucking bugs. You know what I mean? Like death. Sure. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like you know, like, and then moving out into things that you learn more, you know, like, and that are become personal to you as phobias or whatever. And like, dude, getting closer to that like birth fear, like darkness, bro. It's gotta be so much stronger than gun.
That's I'm glad we're going here already because the carnal fear devil, it just obviously raises that. So, and it's so crazy because like the manga up to this far is Gun Devil is final boss, right?
Yeah.
Chapter 64.
We're in hell.
Gun Devil. Just some Gun Devil. Like, fuck this guy. Who Gun Devil? You know. So now we're getting to the meme territory of like, you know, Gun Devil did nothing wrong, right? And fucking maybe the Gun Devil was just the friends we made along the way. You know. You know, because like it's crazy how this shit is just the script has flipped so crazy
upside down. It's like a completely different story.
It blew me the fuck.
We went from fucking gag like we went from gag like comedy like running a car into a fucking dude like haha to now we're in fucking hell right now.
Fujimoto is hitting every emotion. I mean, shit I didn't know I had. You know, like this shit is crazy.
And the coldest, bloodiest fucking devil design yet inside of the fucking darkness devil. And you see the fucking so when the darkness devil comes in,
the door opens. The door opens. The sky.
He drips in. He fucking splashes down. The fucking astronauts pray for him or whatever. Ooh. And I know it's goosebumps, right? And then he's like, "What's cracking?" And on his like introductory full body design panel, there's arms that are hanging above him, and
that's everyone's arms.
Yeah, but they're spelling something.
Makima.
Fuck you, you bastard! I was really about to bust that out, dude. They totally spell Makima. And when the chapter came out, and we read the
and the 2-page spread.
So when the fan translation came out,
when Japanese,
the fan translation came out, somebody in our homegirl M.
Oh, I see.
Our homegirl M in our group chat was like, there's like a weird like kanji that these arms are spelling or whatever, and I don't know like if this like just like, you know, whatever, and like me and her are talking about it like, what the fuck could this shit be saying? I don't know any Japanese, blah 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 blah. And then when the official fucking translations come out, I'm looking at that shit like my nigga, what the fuck, what does this shit say? You know what I'm saying? And then like fucking boom, right there. It's like one of those like it's like one of those like optical illusions where like when you look at it and then like the farther away you get, you like see like the thing like in the background that it's actually supposed to be. Right. Definitely says fucking Makima in those fucking arms.
I mean, shoot, now that you say that, I can see it. I can see
bastard.
It.
I knew.
I was ready to bend y'all back with that.
He fucking read the chat.
Oh, I didn't read the chat.
I did not read the chat. I swear to God.
No, he hasn't. He hasn't. I saw it. He doesn't have the red receipt. I saw it.
No. I dead ass.
He saw it. Yeah.
So I want to talk about the design of the devil because I feel like the devil is really just the cloak of darkness, and the body is constructed of body parts that he's
using to give you a physical form to look at.
As a slave to walk for him. Wow. It's just the cloak.
Something for you to look at.
Wow.
That's, you know, there. Yeah. Ooh, interesting.
Bro, fuck yeah.
Yeah, because that is a good point, because when she, you know, when he gives her a piece of his flesh at the end.
Yeah.
It is just that little blot of darkness and not like any part of that body.
Yeah, 100%. And that would explain the message of Makima in the background too. It's like, I'm controlling all of these body parts. Why? And I'm putting this message up here for you. So why wouldn't it be this darkness devil body also?
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. It's just darkness. It's just symbolizing darkness. Wow. The cloak, you look inside the cloak and it's nothing but darkness inside.
Of course, that's what it would have to be. Fuck yeah, dude. Good shit.
The astronauts praying, I just love this aesthetic. It is so creepy.
Yes.
And that's making me think, what would an astronaut's biggest fear be? It's that void. It's that darkness.
The vacuum of space.
Getting unhooked from the ship and flying away, and then you're just in darkness forever. Like that's got to be terrifying.
Oh my god.
Yes.
Dude, I thought I was about to fucking come and blow you guys' minds. You're both saying things way crazier than what I had to say right now.
A frog croaks in the night, like what the hell's about this frog? What's so scary about a frog? But it's like in the darkness, I feel like darkness, it's definitely one of those fears where I've often said as a little kid, I'm not afraid of the dark. I'm afraid of what's could be in the dark.
Yeah.
So it's and that's where a ribbit, a frog croaking in the dark. It's like, well, I mean, sure, it's probably a frog, but what if it's not a frog?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
The frog devil.
Yeah.
Oh my god, that's fucking crazy.
Oh,
so arms go bye-bye. And
goosebumps, right? Fucking crazy.
And homie says, I am the doll devil.
Yeah, so we confirmed that because wasn't Kiko saying that last episode?
Yeah, basically. But I think that he / maybe Master are
she's speaking
like
through
a
him,
hybrid.
right?
She's speaking through him. But but it's like a hybrid. I don't think it's actually the doll devil, right? Like the actual doll devil. I feel like it's like Denji has the chainsaw devil within him, but he is still his own being. It's some kind of hybrid thing, right?
Yeah.
Sure.
I mean, that kind of makes sense to me. Like Redze too. Redze was a hybrid as well. She wasn't.
Yeah, she was just like Denji, but on the bomb form, and the katana devil was just like Denji, but in the sword form.
Yeah.
Because otherwise, if they were like a power, you would see some kind of physical representation in their head design that they were. That's one of the differences between fiends and whatever Denji.
Yeah, they always have some kind of.
So there's
devil are.
So this devil man, right? Yeah. There's the devil.
I think
devil
man is fiend.
But
then I think devil man is chainsaw man. Redze, Denji, Redze, Katana Devil.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I could have sworn that Devil Man was just the unofficial translation, and Fiend was.
We were
so confused. We were so confused in those days, and I'm just trying to do away with those fucking terms.
I know, me too. I'm trying to get all 100% official. It's a hard transition. Yeah.
Regardless, I do think Master is using this dude as a conduit. She's out, on the street in Shibuya and wherever, and she's talking through him to the darkness devil.
Yeah, so she's outside of hell. She's still in the mall outside of hell.
Yeah.
And she's living or communicating vicariously through the doll, the perfect puppet doll devil. Yeah.
Transmitting through her, whatever. And that is what I was saying last week. And I also was saying too, it's Master versus Makima. Like this, obviously this is what this has been leading up to, because there's never been somebody as calculating and ruthless and like Makima's been thus far. They could match her, and man, this is just so hype.
It's so heavy because that means it's confirming that there's no power of regular means that can deal with Makima on the surface level, and you have to go down here to get the means to take her out up there.
So I read about a theory about
crazy.
Makima. I read about a theory about Makima being blessed by God, because she's been smiting people and she's been having the plague, those rats and shit.
Yeah.
And I don't know, but that just, I mean,
dude, remember when I was talking about blessings last season?
Yeah,
with
so
fucking
think
Angel
about
and shit.
It juxtaposed where God is actually evil and devils might actually end up being good. What if we had that shit? And Makima is evil and fucking doing God's bidding or whatever. Like I don't know, like that. When I was reading that, I was like, damn, that's crazy. I don't remember. Maybe I saw that on Twitter somewhere, maybe I don't know. But regardless, that shit, I was like, wow, like that.
Yeah, that's wild as fuck.
There just has to be, Makima has to have
I wouldn't put
something,
it past Fujimoto either.
Or she has one of these carnal fear devils, she has something,
Yeah, and
OP as fuck.
it takes a primal fear devil to deal
primal
with
fear,
right. And that's going back to what you were saying, Noxie. Like I always, I'm sure it was talked about before, but like I feel like Makima has the height devil. You know what I mean?
The the fear of heights.
Yeah, fear of heights.
Oh,
because
why do you
she had to bring those? Because she had remember that.
She had to in the Katana Devil arc. Yeah,
she had to bring the people up to a very high place, a very, very high.
Did she say specifically that they needed to be up that high, or is that just where she ended up being when she used her ability?
But she
was on top of a skyscraper.
She took them up high.
Yeah,
and then when she was saying like I need the names of the people that work for these people, right? All the people with the guns, and she was getting names, and then they were all bound and blindfolded and stuff, and then when they were dying though, it was like they were being splatted. But what if the splatting was an impact of as if you had fallen from that height differently?
Wow.
You know what I mean?
Wow, yeah.
So if she has heights, which I do agree with you, heights is one of those primal fears. I mean, and you look over anything, you got vertigo, almost guaranteed, even if you're not really afraid of heights per se. But like,
that's why they're blindfolded. Bro, chill out. Bro, you.
Hell yeah.
I don't think this is a novel idea. I feel like heights people must have talked about heights devil before, but yeah.
Maybe.
I've never seen anyone talk about the
I don't think
devil.
I have either. Yeah.
I don't know if there's a carnal fear of like wildlife as well. I would think so.
Yeah.
Like
that's probably in the form of like.
She's also appeared in the form of the rats and shit. Like come up.
Yeah.
Out of the. She could have multiple carnal.
But I think that plays a little bit more in line with what Kiko was saying about plagues, right?
Mm-hmm.
And like because like rats, plagues aren't rats, but I mean like you can call.
I mean rats are.
You can call
plague.
rat infestation like a plague, I guess. But like, I guess when I think of like plague, like, because I mean like, do locusts like count as plagues?
Yeah. Locusts and frogs.
Okay.
And,
for some reason, I'm thinking
rats
like plagues are like diseases. For some reason, like they're.
Well, there's like biblical plagues.
There's
pandemic plagues.
Okay. I just wanted to make
bubonic plague was from rats. Right?
You're right. Yep.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
So
wow.
He asks specifically for the power to kill Makima. Like just
specifically,
just
like
give me the power to kill Makima.
So that pretty much confirms that she does have a contract with a devil of that echelon. In hell.
Something extremely high.
Because if you're so cold-blooded on the ground that like think about all of the other like curses that you could try to use to take out Makima, and even if she has a curse like on the level of like surface level curses, you could still probably try to figure it out and like hope that you can get a W on her. But if they're so confident that nothing on the surface can deal with her and they have to go to hell to get the power to deal with her, it pretty much confirms that she does have one of these primal fear contracts.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I would say so too.
Yeah,
or maybe she herself is a primal fear devil.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like if the master is the doll devil, for example, and or maybe like Reze is the bomb devil, and then these people that look like people that can transform. She could be like Makima could be a primal fear devil.
Yeah. Wow.
Doesn't she have weird eyes? Makima?
Yeah, like hypnosis, like eyes.
Yeah,
like Pito in that one fucking panel where she has the fucking spirals in the eyes. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. So, how about the note that was given? Did you guys look up what it means?
Yes. Makima is listening.
Yep.
The day of the doom is near.
Yep.
And
kill Makima.
Kill Makima. Yeah. I don't know how many times. I mean, I think I can be blown away by anything about saying kill Makima. I can probably do 10 more times. I don't know. Like every time I see it, I'm just like, oh god, this is so crazy.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. It seems like everybody's out to get her ass.
Hell yeah.
I know. It's like Denji's like, everybody's out to get me. Makima's like, hold my beer real quick.
Yeah. And I just love like the devil's holding out like the bit of the darkness devil. And I love how her face goes from just regular face, and then she's like blushing, like, "Ooh, I'm so excited!"
Yeah.
I did it.
Yeah,
she's like,
I did what I needed to do. Fuck yeah.
Yep. She's so pleased.
Yeah.
I wonder what that fucking thing tastes like.
just black. Whatever black tastes like.
It's like when you were like 4 years old and you're chewing on a pen and the bitch blew up in your mouth.
I can't say that's ever happened to me, but I can imagine, I guess.
Where were you guys as parents when you were kids? Whoops, sorry. I definitely got a gang of ink in my mouth.
Courtesy.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's about all I had for Chainsaw Man.
Yeah, me too, dude. I'm good.
Me too.
Chapter of the week.
Wow.
Now let's go to chapter not of the week.
Yeah, the exact opposite side of the spectrum here. But
stonks.
Booty cheeks. Chapter 173 of The Promised Neverland. Prisoners.
Okay. So
we are all prisoners in this story.
So I want to take point on. I want to take point on this chapter just because I have a couple positive things that I want to say before we start kind of like ripping into it, because this was a little bit. This subverted my expectations a little bit of what I thought was going to happen.
Yeah.
But like still at the same time, I thought that this was like the pathos chapter that Kaiju Shirai was going to use to try to like make us care about Ratri a little bit. But like,
we're not supposed to.
Yeah, but no. He said, "Fuck no, this dude has always been trash."
Yeah,
and
that's good.
but what was weird about it is that like it goes into his feelings about his brother. Mm-hmm. And how his like admiration for his brother kind of like almost like borderline like fanaticism to a certain degree, and then it builds up all of that I love my brother to my brother started thinking differently than me, I hate him, get him out of here. It's like you cared about this motherfucker so much and you had maybe 3 or 4 panels of you disagreeing with him and then betraying him right away thereafter, like my G.
Right.
Well, like, he had a love of a brother that it was an imagination of what he wanted his brother to be. He was defending his idea of his brother.
And that their clan is like divine. You know, we've been chosen to hold up this way of life to protect the world, and my brother's going against that. When we're not, this isn't a curse. We are blessed. You know, like that was what I'm taking. This isn't. He was almost more upset with the fact that they would call their destiny a curse and something that was a punishment to them. When he's like, no, this is like divine judgment. We are basically the god of humans. That's how I was basically taking it. My clan, I'm father, basically. How he was like, you know, the shit that Ratri was doing in the last chapters and shit. So, I mean, that part was cool, like that was fine, right?
But this is the chapter that I didn't completely hate from start to finish.
I didn't completely hate it, but what I did completely hate about it is it feels like we kind of blew open the ending here, and now we got possibly a lot more of this story to go. Like the code solid. Pass that on to my uncle if you can. It's like how many more arcs?
How many more plot threads are you gonna fucking introduce in what's supposed to be, and hopefully the final fucking arc? Like we're tired of this. I thought you, Kaiju Shirai, and fucking Posaka Demizu were tired of this, but it's like you have so much more story that it seems like you want to tell, and it's just like, wow.
I will give props to Emma. I mean, like, you know, talk no jutsu can sometimes end a fight, but to get talk no jutsu to make a man kill himself, that's cold blooded.
So I'm almost there, right? I'm almost there.
So about that. So like. And I want to get Eagle's thoughts on the chapter actually first before I go into what I feel about the end of the chapter. Like what,
I was just gonna say, do you think, like, obviously there must be some kind of like subdivision of the Ratri clan still that's trying to like fight
on the malevolent side of things, or on the benevolent side of things? Yeah,
because he's like, oh, tell my uncle this shit, you know. I've been holding his ass down in the brig for fucking the last 10 years.
So I don't know, like, is this like a theme within their family that every generation has one that you know, obviously is supposed to lead and carry this on? They find out the truth, they go crazy, you know, and then just like his uncle was probably thrown in prison by his dad, maybe, and his dad, you know, is Peter, you know, his dad is Peter, whereas uncle is James. So, you know, maybe there's a parallel with that, but I don't care.
I don't care. I just want to be done. And like, if he's gonna kill himself at the end, it's like so like he's been kind of like, as we've been going through this arc, Ratri has been like shown to be like really unhinged, psychotic, like losing it, right? And then in this,
he like Stockholm syndrome himself.
Yeah, like you know what I'm saying? Like he's been like on the fritz like for the last like 4 or 5 chapters, and then going into this like realization that he has. And sure, you could probably like maybe enter like a moment of clarity and like a moment of like, okay, this is what I have to do. But like it seemed like he would have like a little bit more of a mental breakdown, like going into killing himself, than like just sitting here and coming out of the flashback and going, okay, so this is what I have to do. I don't want to live in a world where I'm not living up to what I've made my life for the last X amount of time for, you know what I mean? So like, if you are going to change the world, good luck, whatever, do what you got to do, but I'm not going to be here for it. Boom. And then it's over. It's like, I thought that considering his character, it would be a little bit more dramatic of an ending for him than just like a calm, you got it, bye. You know what I mean? And
I mean, he might not even be dead. You know what I mean?
He might not even be dead.
All we saw was a knife to his throat and then a panel of only blood. Emma could literally have shot his arm to prevent him from killing himself.
Yeah.
So
I like that.
He
that's probably, honestly,
like
bro, holy shit, that's probably what it is. But at the same time, it's like, if he wanted to die, if he was reserved to just die, why didn't he just rush Emma with the knife and get shot in his forehead by someone else panicking in the background to make sure that he didn't get to Emma? He didn't have to, you know what I'm saying? Like, if he wanted to fucking die, there were fucking 50 guns on him. You know what I mean? Like, and you want to fucking cut, like, that's one of like the worst ways I feel like I could go. Is a knife
choking
to the
on your own
jugular.
blood.
Is a knife to the jugular, that pain plus asphyxiation plus like just shoot me in the forehead, bro. You got 50 guns on me. If you're gonna light me up, one of them's gonna hit a spot of instant death. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would have just rushed her with the fucking knife and just like made my swing broad as hell so that you had plenty of time to react. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would have done all types of shit like to get me out of here. Like, then cutting my
told you, EI.
Yeah, definitely. I don't know how much I think that he is dead or alive, because I mean, like, if he's dead, it's a nice, I don't know. It's definitely a way to get out of this situation without Emma needing to kill anyone.
Yeah.
Emma is still pure. She didn't kill a man who was unarmed or didn't want to die.
Right.
So she didn't kill him, but he still dies. So they don't gotta like keep him around, even because he's really a bad guy.
Yeah, and we really want him out of here because he's a horrible character too. On top,
but if he's alive, it also wouldn't surprise me. But then I'm kind of with Kiko. I'm just like, I'm so done with this arc. I'm just please, can we just end it?
Yeah.
Skip. If we're gonna do a couple arcs, let's just get to the next arc. Let's just do it.
Straight up.
Yeah.
But you got anybody else got anything they want to say?
I could say one more thing, but I feel like we should just move on.
All right, let's go.
Go ahead, say it.
All right, fine. There's a panel of the god demon talking, and he says, "You and your descendants are caught in a whirl of destiny," and that's just something you could, I don't really know what to take from it, but it seemed, there for a reason.
Maybe this has happened before on a completely different planet that demons inhabit, and this is like the cycle of what just happens when demons are coexisting with humans. Because remember when we were talking about how like this could just be one like setting for this god demon, and how like it could be like I don't want to say like an intergalactic spacefaring like whatever, but like if this is like all sentient life has to go through this, and we know that the universe is so vast that there has to be sentient life elsewhere, and this god demon is like extra normal to the point where it exists above dimensions and could travel at whatever pace it wants to whatever area, whatever, and this is just one location for it. And that's why it's so cool with, okay, let's make a new deal, because this isn't the only place where I'm getting this nutrition. Then like maybe this whole cycle of destiny thing is, this is just one little spot for me, bro. Go ahead and do what you gotta do. This was just me chilling and seeing how y'all dealt with it. I got a whole fucking planet of dumb plantation meat. You know what I'm saying? That isn't breaking out and trying to form new fucking promises. And like, like you guys are special and it's cool to watch it, but I got plenty sustenance over here on XYZ planet. You know what I mean? So it could be a situation like that, but...
Do you know how disinterested I am? When you said make a new deal instead of a promise, I thought a deal or no deal, and then pictured the god demon as Howie Mandel. And that's how disinterested I am in this series.
Open the suitcase up. Got like a sexy, like demon with the suitcase.
Legra Valima with the suitcase.
Oh,
all right,
shit.
get out of
Okay,
here.
let's do that. I'm done.
Yeah.
All right, then. That'll be it for the Promised Neverland. So with that, we can go ahead and move on to chapter 245.
Let's go.
Of Black Clover.
It's Yami hours.
Dante versus the captain of the Black Bull.
It's
And
Yami season, baby.
It's Yami hours. Let's fucking go. Wow. Okay.
For the first time in so long, I'm so excited for the Black Clover segment.
I'm definitely excited to hear some of y'all's thoughts on some of this stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
Who wants to start us off here?
Eagle.
Yeah, get in there.
Get in there. Ride that energy into the fucking chapter. Let's go.
Bam.
Yeah. Yep.
The fact, yo, I got hot.
Dude, me too. I'm like hot right now because I'm super excited.
The fact that Yami can like condense the mana zone, bro, and negate any gravity magic that's coming at him.
That's crazy that we see Black Hole from Yami before Dante.
So
well, that's been a thing. So I wonder if he even has.
It's Black Hole plus mana zone.
I don't remember
at the same
Black
time.
Hole. Wait, have we seen Black Hole from Yami before?
Yeah, I want to say. Something like. I thought so.
Oh, it's not even Black Hole. It's Black Moon in this chapter.
Well, Black Moon is because
combined with the Black Hole.
Exactly. Yeah.
Okay.
Which is territorial expansion.
Right. He's looking over at JJ's notes.
Assuming that's got an enhanced draw to where it's like instead of just drawing in like what comes near it, because he'll usually use it as like a defensive technique to absorb magical
nullify
attacks,
incoming attacks.
So is that just within an area, just like
your shit's not moving
and sucking in all magic?
So this is kind of like going into the difference of what Dante's misconception of what Asta was doing is, because a couple chapters ago, Dante was kind of underestimating Asta's anti-magic and just saying, so all you can do is erase spells. So like, since this is kind of behaving like anti-magic, this could be an example of what Dante thought Asta was doing.
Sure.
Well, I knew we were always going to get here because like black, like gravity, darkness, or darkness magic, not gravity, which I mean is one and the same in some stories, but here it's different, obviously, because there's two different users. But
yeah,
darkness. I mean, I just always kind of felt like we were going to get here where Yami's ability is similar to Asta's ability. You know, like and we're
say Blackbeard. Blackbeard, the darkness fruit is the negation of other devils.
Oh
yeah. On the flip side of Final Fantasy, darkness is gravity.
Right.
Or Blackbeard is gravity as well.
It's gravity. He's all
okay. So darkness abilities just have to like negate things. Just like in fictional lore of what we've seen so far, it's just like that's just like a common theme of
darkness is an absorption of light.
Yeah, that's right.
Yes,
that's right. And light is basically everything. So it makes sense that it can negate everything. Yeah.
Man.
I mean, I don't know how much I agree it makes sense that he can erase spells, but we'll go with it.
Go ahead though, Eagle. What were you gonna say?
Just how fucking Yami is it though? When he gets hit with the gravity and this man just says just lands on his fucking feet like
You're not groveling. Yeah. You know?
He said, bitch, who you think I am?
And he held Fenrir up too, you know, like
he said Fenrir.
I know. Like, grabbed Fenrir by the neck right here, like, and held him, you know, to try to keep him from groveling. Yeah, true.
Right.
So neither of us are groveling. My man's not groveling neither. Like I thought that was super hype.
Hell yeah. Fuck yeah. But when they start going into their sword fight, my guy, and fucking so he uses his compression. He uses his compression magic again to like turn the stone into like a scimitar this time. I want to say.
Yeah.
Is the kind of sword that it is?
Or like a saber.
A saber.
Yeah.
Rapier.
Saber. No, I don't think it was a rapier, but it definitely
like a cavalry sword, like a saber.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Like the
just
onward,
like
that kind of shit. So this is sick to see the choreography in this, but like maybe it was the Manga Plus app that I was using, but I feel like I was kind of confused on like their positions in the fight, like throughout it.
No, there's a really weird one.
There is a really weird one. Okay, I wanted to wait to get your words on it because you kind of like look into that like more so than I feel like the rest of us do.
There's a really weird one where Dante and Yami, I feel, are facing. One of them's facing the wrong direction.
Yeah,
like, I feel like Sabata drew the wrong shit.
Yeah, on accident. Yeah,
and I'm like, why? Let me find it.
No, because I'm looking at it.
I think it's
on page 14.
Yeah, I'm looking at it and I'm like, bro. I'm like, so if they do the traditional like samurai showdown like final attack, why is his back already to him before the clash? You know what I mean? Like that's how I was feeling.
I think I just figured it out. Oh my god, actually, I think I just figured it out. So if you look
Dante's like blitzing around and shit. You know, going all over the place.
Look at the panel on page 8 where Yami cuts through the boulder and he says he slashed space apart. You can see a little fucking like animation, I don't know what you call that, but a little illustration in the middle of the rock that he's cutting that's like a negated space. That's like space has erased in that little, like there's like a sphere after the slash, in the middle of the slash. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yes, in the top panel. In the top panel.
Yep, the top panel. Yeah. Yep, on page 8.
Now we've seen that 8.
Oh, when he cuts the rock in half.
Yeah, that distortion is like a part of Dante's spell, isn't he?
That's Dante. That's we've seen that several times in this fight or this arc. In the fight with Dante.
That's him after imaging, basically, right?
Yes, that's Dante after image. Yeah.
Okay, because.
Or
then it's still confusing.
Then it's still confusing. Yeah,
well, because Dante has that on his back on page 14 in the bottom corner of 14. I'm not giving up a single one of them when Yami cuts him. He's faced the wrong way, and I
like what the fuck is going on in this?
I don't know. Like this is the thing. Like if this was Hero, you're just like it doesn't matter which way he's facing because it's fucking Horikoshi. Like it doesn't. But this is Tabata where you can tell everything
this is where happening. He excels.
This is his strength. So I can't be having people face the wrong direction without me knowing why.
I doubt it.
On page 14, the top two panels, you see Yami standing up.
Yep.
In that second panel on the left, right behind where it says Mana Zone, you can see Dante blitzing down behind Yami. So he had just blitzed down behind him and was about to try and cut him.
And then he turned around and hit
and slashed his ass.
Okay, fine. That's fine.
So
but you'd think that Tabata would give us a panel of him reacting.
Of him turning around.
Yeah,
exactly.
Okay.
That's good. That's good. Thank you, Eagle. Because I was like, bruh. What is bro on right now?
Well, yeah, and it's hard to see. I don't know why they would position this text here right over his, like, coming down. His little, you can see the kind of flash.
Yeah, the Mana Zone? Like yeah. I see exactly what you're... Wow, good spot. Good spot.
Right over the top.
Yeah, good spot, dude. Fuck yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I would not have caught that.
Yeah, so, how about... Let's see. It says that I believe this is Dante thinking in this part where Dante attacks him and then he says he used a Mana Zone to launch himself off thin air. So he used Geppo basically.
Yeah,
yes.
right.
Yeah. So that's pretty sick that we can see that you can basically, I mean, at least that. So we've seen like air type of battles, right? Where they're fighting in air and they're like flying. Like you got different characters that like fly around. Noelle flies in her Valkyrie dress and fucking, Yuno flies in his fucking
Zephyr form or whatever.
Zephyr dress and fucking Asta flies in his black dress. Yeah. We all fly and so like it's good to see.
Yeah, in dresses.
It's good to see somebody like Yami who doesn't like get
doesn't
enveloped.
He doesn't get enveloped in darkness to fly. He doesn't need a dress. He's got a wife beater at all times.
Are we going to see? Is it going to be like Bleach? Is it going to be like Bleach kind of eventually, where they just stand on air?
No.
Like, I mean, I don't. I hope that there's at least some mages that
you can add density to your Mana Zone to a point where you can just like walk around on it inside of the dome.
Yeah.
God,
like,
damn,
I mean, Dante. I guess Dante, you could say like he's just canceling his own gravity, so he doesn't fall.
Yeah.
Anyway,
but
he
has so much control that he can put gravity
around.
At whatever level he needs to make the movements that he does. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
But man, this fucking EI slash, he said, Itoriu EI. Sun. But it's weird though that like we get an EI attack that's not the last panel him putting the sword back in his thing. And usually you don't see the blood splurt until the sword is put back. But his sword is out and you see the blood So, like, is that really EI? Like,
he's just doing it. I mean, EI is still going to be a sword drawing technique.
Yeah,
which he
for
definitely
sure,
did.
Sure. And the real life EI is not, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
of course. Yeah.
So
that's just like from the sheath, right?
Bato Jutsu, But the thing that I wanted to focus on that particularly is that, so he says mana zone condensed. So is he bringing his mana zone in and basically putting it in his sheath with his sword?
Ooh.
And just like, having it build up inside, condense the whole mana zone in there. That'd be pretty
I can see it. So the other thing I was thinking was that, like, I guess maybe this is just me misunderstanding Yami's magic, but for a while I guess I thought his magic was dimension cutting, and like I feel like if his magic was purely 100% only dimension cutting, I think you could explain every single ability, including towards the beginning, when he's like canceling out the magic. Because what if he is cutting the dimension such that the magic is just going down, and then into a different dimension.
Right.
He cut a hole, and then boom, your magic goes there. Meanwhile, I'm still here.
Kind of like when you make a hole in a plane.
Yes, exactly. Yeah,
and then everything gets sucked out of the hole in the plane. Yeah.
And then the condense. What if, say for example, Okuyasu from JoJo Part 4, he uses the hand to remove space. What if the mana zone condense is Yami cutting away space between him and his target, immediately jumping that dimension, skipping space right to him to be that'd be a really quick slash or whatever.
Oh yeah. Wow.
So I'm just like, but is that his magic? I mean, like, it's
I don't know. Hey,
rough, I guess.
Yeah.
Hard to say.
I mean, if anyone's going to give us an explanation on what their magic is doing, it's going to be Yami.
Yes,
because he's the only one that's like the most more so like him and Mario Leona. Mario Leona has a little bit more of like an aggressive, like you're stupid for not knowing this kind of approach to teaching people. Like when she was teaching them Mana Skin. But like Yami will actually sit there and be like, this is what I'm doing. This is how it works. He's the only one that actually feels like a mentor to anybody in the series.
Right.
You know what I mean? So if we're going to get an explanation of what's happening, it's probably going to be from Yami, especially considering he has one of the more difficult to wrap your mind around magic styles. So I feel like if anybody is going to be given the dialogue to explain what the fuck they're doing, it should be him. So,
right.
Yeah.
And so
we really got to
Dante...
figure out what Yami is, though. Or not what Yami is, but like...
Yeah.
More so who Yami is.
Well, why? That's the big part. In
his homeland, like what significance he has in his homeland.
Yeah.
Right.
Why he would be like, is he I mean, I hate to say this because it's just like, Jesus Christ. Pull the prince out of a fucking hat at this point. Is Yami some kind of royalty, for him to get? Because his magic is obviously of a very high caliber.
Definitely in his homeland, he's of very high rank of whatever their hierarchy is. It might not be the same kind of nobility as you see inside of these kingdoms, but like wherever he comes from, he's an
exiled ruler or something.
I don't even know, but he's a part of some kind of crazy bloodline inside of his home area.
If Asta is
his magic
king,
is stated to
royalty,
be the link between this and the next world, right?
Say what?
His magic is a link between this world and the next. So
right. So what? And now that I want to talk about for sure, because what if really what Dante wants is a way to cut and open a door to a dimension where they can just go and find these devils.
Yeah.
That's what it sounds
like. That's exactly what it is, bro.
Yeah, because I mean, he says that Yami is the key that links this world to the underworld,
and he's got dimensional magic. So that's so right. Oh my god, bro! Fuck yeah!
Yeah, for sure. So
fuck yeah.
There's that can break the story open to a whole new hell arc. Go to whatever people going to hell.
Now he's speaking over Fujimoto's test.
I would actually be okay with that because
that'd be sick as fuck.
I feel like. Leaving it to the kingdoms, these four kingdoms of the four, suit kingdoms or whatever of the card decks or whatever, like it does pop for me because Asta, I feel he's trying to become the Wizard King of Clover Kingdom. So like, is he really only gonna be the king of Clover Kingdom if he, if there's other countries, but if they open it up to Hell Dimension, that I feel like would be a good place to know Asta's not going to become a Wizard King of the whole world, but they will all the four kingdoms join together to go down into Hell. to beat these devils once and for all, seal up the dimension, and just be done with it.
See,
I feel like that'd be a good
if you
final
do a
arc.
hell arc, then you need a heaven arc, because like there's no hell and devils without heaven and angels. Right?
I don't know. I don't know.
I feel like that would just add 100 chapters.
I know. Right now it's Nanatsu no Taizai again.
But yeah, that's what I was thinking. Nanatsu. Yep.
Yeah. But I mean, pretty much ever since devils were introduced to the story, we just have kind of known that there should be that dichotomy is there. You have devils, and there's angels
also,
too.
There's dwarves that we've not really explored
inside
deeply.
of Charmy.
Right, exactly.
Yeah,
so there's definitely more to it.
Are like extinct.
What is it?
They might be.
Dwarves?
What if? I mean, there's obviously world outside of these 4 kingdoms, right?
Yeah, for sure.
Right.
So
we're gonna get a Dark Continent arc too, Togashi.
I don't know, but another thing that stood out in this chapter a little bit to me is Yami says he's not as good at, it sounds like, reading ki as Julius, and how he can dodge the abilities, because he's like, I'm doing this just based on my speed, predicting his abilities on reading ki, and I'm dodging his gravity fucking blitz attacks just off that.
But I think he was saying that because of Dante. Even know. I think he was saying that because of Julius's time magic. I don't think Julius is a key kind of character. I think that Julius just had.
I think Yami and Asta are the only 2 characters in Black Clover
so far that we've seen. Yeah, but Julius could definitely.
Ki is a thing that was specific to Yami that he learned in his home country.
Yeah,
and taught to Asta because he has no magic detection skills of his own.
Yeah, right. That makes sense too.
Just because that's all the dialogue we got, that doesn't mean that it's impossible for Julius to know, especially since Julius and Yami are boys, and Yami could have definitely said, hey, look at this shit I could do. Julius, eyes start flashing stars. What the fuck was that?
What's going on? Yeah, and now we get a flashback of Yami teaching Julius about ki, and then because Julius is so much higher level than him, he's just like, I got that shit too now.
Ki and time together. I mean, it just, I don't know. Maybe that is...
No. I like what you're saying right now.
Story left dead, kind of,
I don't know. I guess I always thought I interpreted it as something that Yami kept in his bag, just as something that only he has.
Yeah. But
I will also say you do not bring up ki again here. A tale to be left unsaid. You know what I mean? Like, you don't keep bringing it up.
But at the same time, why bring up ki in chapter 75? And then not talk about it again really for 150, 175 chapters.
Oh, there's been talk about it before.
I mean, I think they said it maybe. I think they talked about it maybe one more time.
It's just a passive thing in fights where Asta will be like, "Oh,
yeah." Asta, I think, has said it one more time. I need to read his ki, like since Yami initially taught to him.
I feel like he said it a good couple of times since then.
But only wait.
I feel like I'm looking for that.
Couple, like 2 or 3.
Yeah, I'm looking for that. Ever since ki was introduced, I'm like, okay, I need more ki. Where is it? I'm looking for it. We would remember.
It'll just be Asta saying like, "Oh, I can't read it."
Yeah.
It's one small speech bubble out of fucking.
I just feel like over the course of 150 plus chapters that it maybe should have been fleshed out a little bit more leading up until this moment to where they're talking about it in a significant way from Yami. Yami definitely hasn't talked about it again since the Lich arc. So so it's like.
Well, they were talking about during Veto's fight.
Yeah, which was after Yami versus Lich, right?
Yeah.
No.
Yes, it was.
Oh, it was?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Yami and
because Veto was Water Temple, right?
Yeah. Yami and Licht is early.
It's early as fuck. Yeah, you're right. It's right after Mars, right?
Yeah, after Mars.
Yeah. Okay. But yeah, still, even like I'm happy to get more ki whenever we get it. But it's just like, why does it feel like Tabata doesn't want to use it for so long? That's just weird.
Another thing to consider is that we just, I mean, we're in this arc now, but right before this arc was a 6-month time skip.
Yeah.
So it could just be that there's only been like an hour, 2, or maybe a day since the time skip, and so we might very soon get a ki flashback training arc of in that 6 months. What did Yami and Asta do?
Yes.
I
just with their need training, the exposition.
Yeah, I would love it. I would love some
need, like, you know, like if you're over on the Samurai 8 side of things and you're like too much exposition, Over on the Black Clover side of things, I feel like there's too little. And I would love if in the 250 chapter range that we started getting heavy exposition on some things that I feel like haven't been fleshed out and touched on enough. That would really, like, because remember, dude, like I said a million times on this fucking show, we were gigantic Black Clover stands in the beginning. And then as the fucking the chapter numbers, you know, like started to increase, and we started getting less and less of what we really need from stories and more of these tropes that Tabata wants to cling to and carry him through these arcs. It's like, I would love for it to come back to that holy shit, this is gas every week light. You know what I mean? And I feel like an abundance of
for 75% of Project Manga.
I know, and yes, we know that you don't really care about this kind of stuff, but at the same time,
it's not that I don't care.
Well, you don't think it's important.
Don't think the story's ever cared, so I don't think it's important for Black Clover, specifically.
And just because it's not important
all
for
stories,
and just because it's not
for this one,
just because it's not important for Black Clover specifically, doesn't mean that I can't be critical of it, because I know what I need from a fucking story, and ultimately, we're talking about our opinions anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So like, I can make whatever criticism I want about what I feel a story is lacking in, without saying that this is an attack on Tabata himself. You know what 100%. I mean? This is just like, yo, this is what I love in predecessor stories. You know what I mean? And this is what is apparent in its peer stories around it. So why can't I want that from Black Clover too? You know what I mean?
Well, we might still get it.
And we might still get it, and I'm very excited for it. This is the most excited I've been for this series in a really long time. This arc is really delivering for me. And even like the little like prequel, you know, like moment like leading into this arc with Julius like expanding the fucking, like giving us the dialogue that knows that we're going to be traveling to other areas, and it like the stakes are higher. We're traveling. We're getting more, hopefully more explanation of things. We're seeing really cool magics inside of Gordon and inside of Dante. Like, I'm more than excited, you know, for what's happening right now. Especially coming out of that devil arc. You know what I mean? Like last, you know, in Clover. Like, But yes, here for it, nonetheless.
Yep, that's all I
think
got.
It's kind of unclear whether I don't know. It's weird what he says. I wish we would have gotten actual dialogue on whether or not Julius was doing key shit.
I think it go either way. I think it could definitely be a time magic joke. Like, well, I certainly can't go forward in time as far as Julius can. It could be, but seriously, like, that dude is badass as hell.
Yeah, like he's got.
He said, I'm not on his level because he can use time magic and just literally.
That's what I was saying.
Different fucking locations.
That's what I was saying. That I thought he.
I think either way.
It's totally reasonable to think Julius doesn't need something like key when he controls time.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So yeah, but it's just. If he had it, like, I don't know, how would that increase his ability? I don't know. Does it at all? You know, so that's why it might.
I think it would.
Yeah, I think it would too, I guess.
Because then he just wouldn't need to use his magic as often. You know,
right.
But you can take this dialogue either way here. Like, it's confirmation that Julius was using key or not. I don't know. He's
right. No, I totally agree.
Yeah, we don't know for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm not on Julius's level. That was a weird thing to throw in after he said what he said about he's using his own in the key.
No, I agree.
Yeah,
for
sure.
Thing.
Yeah.
Anyways, all right, that does it for Black Clover then, and with that we can get into chapter 266 of My Hero Academia.
Some gas right here.
Of Why We Wrote Wackodemia winning. Happy life.
Why we're a Wackodemia. Fuck yeah.
Winning.
Yeah, absolutely. This chapter was beautiful.
Yes. Yeah.
In every way. Hit all the marks. All the check marks checked multiple times.
Man, RIP the guy twice though, right?
We can get into that.
Yeah,
definitely we can get into that. But there are a couple of things that I want to talk about before we get into that.
Close up on Dobby's face.
Yes.
Great art, great panel. Just really, really detailed.
That's where Horikoshi shines.
Yes. In the close up detail on headshots is definitely where he strives. He can show so much emotion, and his emotions paint such vivid gateways to the mind and emotional state of the characters that they're focusing on. And I called it last chapter that Hawks was gonna, me and Kiko was like, he's just gonna move, you know, or whatever. But the way that he moved is so cool because obviously he controls his feathers psionically. So he's just grabbing a feather and making it fly. and now he's out of the way and he's holding on to it, right?
Yeah.
So that's fucking sick.
Like Buggy.
Yeah, exactly. So that's really cool. But I knew that Hawks' situation was not over just because Dabi had him in a situation like that. You're not going to beat the number 2 hero in a surprise attack in a one shot. Like, I'm sorry, it's just not going to happen.
But he did say, "This is my worst possible matchup."
Yes, but we knew that.
Yeah, but I'm saying this is not good for him.
Yeah, for sure. But he's still performing incredibly well because his maneuverability is his strongest suit in any situation. When you have maneuverability,
he all over that.
Bro, we all bro. He went around the he outside the window, went around, dodging fire in a close quarters, confrontation all the while. Go out the door, come back around, come in. Yes, and when you have action panels that are kind of like Horikoshi's, especially when it's big AoE, flame, ice, whatever attacks, you need this dialogue and this exposition from Dabi saying what Hawks did. You know what I mean? That we know exactly, and I feel like that's what's been kind of like lacking from a lot of these high-powered AoE combat, sequences that we've gotten from Horikoshi up until this point, is that we need internal monologues that explain to us like what's happening some of the time, because
got to clean that shit up.
Exactly.
We need to know.
But I'm happy that we have it here because it's really important here. Yeah.
Just think about if we hadn't gotten that one line of dialogue.
We'd be like, what the fuck?
We would have been like, what? Wait, what? Like, it would have been like, so confusing.
Exactly.
How the fuck did Hawks get in the hallway?
Yeah, exactly. So I'm really happy that we have that here. Going into like psychology and whatnot here, which is like my favorite thing to talk about in this, in stories like this, is well, first and foremost, leading into the whole Twice and Toga and Compress situation, is the choreography up until this point is letting us know that Dabi came in, stepped on his face, went to go ignite it. He fucking flew out with the psionic feather, taxi. And then he's kind of like standing there. He's got Twice with him. And he's making a comment like, you almost burned your homeboy. And Dabi's like, I knew you were going to save him. That's why I fucking put the flame out, because I wanted to burn half of you and get your wings out of here. And I knew that you were going to hold my homeboy down because you're a hero. That was fucking cool as shit.
Yep.
Then
Twice jumps on him with the clone, has the clone jump on him and say, burn his ass, burn him good. Like, that was,
burn him good. Then he comes back and he's like, then he comes back, he's like, burn him good, and he's reaching for him, and Dabi's like, I got this. High five. Twice goes out the fucking door.
Yep.
Fucking, as he tries to burn him, Hawks flies out the window, comes back around and was like, I told you not to fucking move, bro. And he was like, oh, so he went around and came and did this, wait, or whatever. And then he sends another fire attack at him to stop him from fucking hitting Twice there. He makes another clone and sends the clone out the door. And then Twice is still there. And then you get Hawks behind Twice, going to put what we're assuming is a decisive blow or a mortal wound on him, and then down into his fucking like back or some shit, and then kicks him off the fucking whatever, and he flies down to the concrete, which we don't find out until he's talking to Toga later in the chapter. But as Toga and Compress are getting apprehended by that hero, fucking Twice comes up, and when he hits that fucking hero in the nape of the neck with the sword, does that kill him? Did Twice kill someone on his way out? Because that's pretty fucking gangster.
And that was his clone that did that. That
was the clone. That was the clone for sure. So he sent the clone out the door. This is the clone that got sent out the door to go meet up with Toga and Twice. And he's doing everything he can to keep this clone together, to help his people as much as he can one final time, because he knows he's on his way out.
That's it.
And this is a really beautifully done, really heavy scene. This is where Kohei shines right here, is in this moment, because Twice is a clone. Compress is like, oh, very good, make more clones right away so we can get the hell out of here and keep doing our villain thing. And Twice is like, nah, G, it's sober wit for me. You know what I'm saying? And it goes into this really emotional scene, and Toga's like, hold on, what? And the Compressor like, hold on, what are you talking about? What's going on here? And he's, says basically, I'm dying in his Twice kind of way. But the most beautiful moment in this is when he pulls out the handkerchief and was like, Toga, you scuffed your face. Let me get that for you and give you this handkerchief back. And Toga's kind of like putting it together, what's happening here, while he's having this dialogue about like how much his friends mean to him and whatnot. And he's wiping the shit away. as he's melting away, he can't keep his form together. Toga's like looking at him crazy, puts her hand on his hand that's wiping his face. You get the flashback of the handkerchief scene where she's like, you don't feel whole unless you're covered up, right? And you get this amazing character moment inside of these characters that we're supposed to hate, and that we know need to be taken down. And Kohei really humanizes them and creates this ridiculously visceral scene that really, more so than probably the last time I felt this way, was Meruem and Kamugi. I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. You know what I'm saying? I have not cared so much about a villain death or a villain whatever. And now, obviously, Twice could still be alive, and he's just falling unconscious, and that's why his clones are I'm not gonna say that there's no chance that Twice could be alive, couldn't survive this.
I'll be mad if he survives.
I feel like I will be mad too, because this is way too much going into it, and way too much setup, and way too much devoted to a scene like this for him.
Throw this whole chapter in the dumpster if you don't.
Exactly.
And I'll be so mad.
This is way too much, but at the same time,
it was. You said all the good words. That was perfect.
It's crazy how Kohei can make you care so much about these characters, but at the same time, you know that this situation had to happen. The stakes have been developed and established and rehashed so many times in the story that Twice can't fuck up twice without either being apprehended or killed. It would throw the entire understanding of our stakes in this series off if Twice was able to get away with fucking up this royally multiple times.
So you think Toga's about to fucking drink Twice's blood?
Man, oh man.
I would hope she can't drink a clone's blood to get that.
No. She'd have to go run over. No, because there is no blood. It's just a dripping.
Yeah, it's just like a goo.
She has to go run over to the corpse on the cement and go.
Yeah.
Eat some of that shit.
Yeah, I guess that's presuming that he did actually fall, and that the thing that fell was not a clone, but the real body, and then off the real body was a clone after falling or something.
If that's not what happened, I'll be mad. Like, I'm with you.
I'm with you.
I'm with you. I'm 100% with you.
So much goes into that in this chapter that can't take it all back.
Yeah. I wish it was a little more clear on this panel of him falling off the top.
I know.
Kanji's there, it says like shunk, like he got stabbed.
I can see it.
But I wish we could see more clearly whether it was him with the mask off or a clone.
Right.
It's ambiguous that way.
Yeah, for sure. And I think it's supposed to be that way.
Yeah.
But just like the last panel of the blood splatter and the handkerchief, or the clone evaporating and the handkerchief, holy shit.
When he has the square boxes that says, scrolling here.
To you, my life looks
could
perfect.
A guy, could a guy ask for better life? Being here with them, I was happy.
Yes.
Was happy. I mean, you cannot have this guy live through this chapter.
Yes. Yeah. Unless in his mind he thinks he's dying and then he actually survives.
That's still stupid.
Yeah, for sure.
That'd be pretty. Like,
I'm just trying to cover all the bases here.
Forgot he was a clone. Kind of thing?
I'm just trying to cover all of the bases.
Yeah. I'll just say this. I'm not somebody who, positions myself in a where I think death is necessary. But I think if you're going to commit this hard to it. I think if you're gonna commit this hard to it, you gotta go.
You
can't have all this inner monologue in this moment. And not have it be followed.
100%. 100%.
So this panel of where after Hawks is above Twice, ready to stab him. The next one is the fucking mansion crumbling, and he says, "I've been a man falling lower and lower, getting duped." And I feel like that's like a double entendre.
Yes, it is.
He's actually falling for his death.
Yes,
because it's way up top. You see him falling.
Yes.
Sure. Oh, yep.
And then inside of his outlook of how many times he's failed the people that he cares about, how in their mind he is assuming and probably overthinking, because these people we know love him regardless of his shortcomings, but in his mind he's failing them so much that he's just falling lower and lower in what he perceives their perception of him to be. And that is just
his perception of himself
too. And this is just so poetic, and this is just so amazing. And
then you see the blood splatter with Toga's handkerchief floating. So that's when he gave all his last strength to turn into a clone to go run and save him, and then deliver her handkerchief back to her.
Yes. And this is why I say that it's these kind of things and this kind of characterization that Kohei gives to the characters in his story that sets him so far away this is arguably like, and we talk about One Piece all the time, but I feel like this is more so a more character-driven story than One Piece even is, because there's so much more scale outside of characters.
Right.
And this is why.
You're right.
Like My Hero Academia is like in a completely different league in this aspect than anything else in the magazine to me.
It is almost entirely a character-driven story.
Yes, exactly right.
As we've talked
I have
about
problems about sometimes.
Yes. It is not the choreography. The art shines in some aspects. It is lacking in some aspects. It's not the setting
with it.
Right. It's the setting also, where like we've talked about, where it's just screaming for more looking into how shitty things are for villains and for people that like, oh, I was just born with a quirk and I look like a fucking monster. I have horns and teeth and I look like evil. And it is screaming for more development of the but characters is definitely more so than any other manga and Jump probably is character driven.
It's just a perfect usage of the influences that inspired the story, because these are themes that we see in X-Men. These are themes that we see all over Western comic books, and perfectly taken and used and balanced in a way that embodies Eastern storytelling. And it's just a perfect, like, you know, combination of Eastern and Western storytelling.
You know what we need? You know, that reminded me, now that you're talking kind of about X-Men here in Marvel, Friends of Humanity.
Wow.
Like if we had a Friends of Humanity and
or like a William Stryker type like character.
Exactly, William Stryker. Exactly
right.
Exactly right. That's who we really need. That would blow the shit up.
Like a religious, like from a religious standpoint, like, oh my god, bro, that would be fucking
certainly that would
amazing.
Be right now,
that would be difficult, I think, to execute
at
this story, because in
sure.
X-Men universe, you know, like a very small percentage of people have mutant power, where in this society,
you don't have the racism. You don't have the racism.
Sure.
But Friends of Humanity, no, I like where your head is at on that. That would be a very unique and interesting faction to bring into. But I feel like the Paranormal Liberation Front is kind of trying to mimic.
Kind of like that.
It's kind of trying to mimic that as best as it can for the universe that they're in. But yes, I love that. But I'm just saying, man, like Kohei, a lot of mangaka are in their bag and Jump right now. Fujimoto, obviously, Gege, everybody is going crazy.
They're doing what they do best. They're all doing what they do best.
They are doing exactly. They're excelling so hard in all of their lanes. But my favorite lane right now is My Hero Academia, and it's because of the psychology and the depth in characters that we get, and it's the slice of life. I always go back to this. All of this shit is amplified by how character-driven those slice of life moments that we don't necessarily think are all that great on a week-to-week standpoint. But
because there's so many like open ends. Like you see like Oyama and Deku, they have this weird little new bond kind of thing, and it's like, when is that going to be expounded on? You know, way after this arc somewhere.
Exactly.
Like,
and then if we ever get an Aoyama sacrifice arc later on in the series, we're going to think back to the windowsill with the cheese. We're going to think back to, you know what I'm saying? And like, even though if we think back to it right now and say that's not going to be a big deal, subconsciously, all of those little moments go into why we care about these characters so much when they eventually meet their end.
I mean, it's to me sometimes I feel like it's a little bit of a double-edged sword, you know, because I'm like, it's great to have so much on these, but like it's also to have loose ends open for so long that don't seem relevant. Once by the time you get it, sometimes it loses its luster. You know, you're like, okay, maybe this relationship we had 400 chapters is going to come back. You know, and maybe not. You know, like Oda does that very well somehow. And somehow I'm always still like, how did he do that? And maybe Horikoshi will, you know, because now we're only at whatever 275 or whatever it is, and like I've always felt like this feels like a 800 chapter manga to me. It feels like there's so much more, at least 500. You know, like to go. So, but
which is crazy to think that we're at 266 and even 500 is. Double
what we
have
have so far. So
amazing.
Imagine how much we're going to care about the characters that have been there since the beginning at the 500 chapter mark. And it's crazy how like normally inside of shonen storytelling, you have a lot of character-driven stories inside of shonen history, but like usually psychology to this degree and character depth is usually more reserved for like seinen storytelling. And you don't usually get like, you know, like philosophy and character reflection and, you know, and depth to this degree inside of shonen storytelling. But Kohei just finds a perfect way to balance everything that we love about manga culture in every way in one story. in a way that, and I think he sacrifices world building for this.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
you know what
definitely.
I mean?
Definitely.
And I wouldn't have it any other way, honestly. Like, of course, we've been talking about it for how long, about how we wish that this world would open up.
Yeah,
but look at the characters that we have inside of it. It's crazy.
Whatever you fancy, right?
Yeah,
like exactly like you were saying about, what we were talking about, maybe one of the last two stories. Either it was Black Clover, Promised Neverland. These are the criticisms that I have personally. That doesn't make anything bad.
Right.
It doesn't make what you
need.
Exactly, and that's what you're saying. Like this gives you so much of what you want that you can sacrifice other portions of storytelling because you want your story to be heavy in this, and that's perfectly fine. Like that's good to know what you want and what you're looking for. And that's why I don't always want to get hung up too much, because I always say the same thing. Like, I need some more world. I need some government. I like other countries.
I need that too, honestly. I'm right there with you. I need it too.
I just think that after this arc, if we don't get that ship will kind of have sailed, right? Because this arc is really going to blow up what we know the world to be.
Yes. And if the villains really do come out on top in this confrontation, then the next thing that needs to happen is politics and world building. Otherwise, how are you going to deal with it?
Yeah, we need a Gorosei. Like, where the fuck's our Gorosei? We need that eventually.
Yeah.
And
you raise a great point that if the Paranormal Liberation Front of tens of thousands of people, hundreds of thousands of people, if they made a move in Japan against the Hero Society, that would be worldwide news. That would be the top story across the globe. So you can't, if it happens, you can't leave out the world building aspect of that. You need at least some pages saying that the rest of the world is aware of this, and
1000%.
Add some characters.
Exactly. Like, how many crazy things can happen inside of Japan before we get the rest of the world's take on it?
Right.
And it doesn't even seem like just Japan. It seems like a few select big cities of Japan, which I mean, it once we get it, we have to get. I mean, because I don't know what to feel about the story if after this arc and we have all this monumental shit that definitely fucking cascades throughout the world because it should, and we don't get the information of how that's really applied or like what we're supposed to take from it everywhere. I don't really know how to take that, but we'll see. I mean, I have faith. I got faith that Horikoshi is gonna. He's gonna give us at least enough, because like you said, it's never going to be a heavy, I don't think, a heavy political story, right? This isn't what the story's about. We just need just enough.
But if it is going to be a heavy political, eventually, it's done all of the prep work for it.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's done more than enough groundwork, and it's laid more than enough of a foundation for us to add political elements to it without it feeling awkward.
Man, so
I think the closest we've gotten lately is Redestro, his company, that they have officially said that, okay, here's a company and there's an economy, and these people they release these items that are very popular in Japanese culture
before.
What'd you say?
Yes. Yeah, they've mentioned
government officials.
We have, in little smaller,
nobody with the
bits
name
and
card.
pieces.
No.
We've gotten little bits. That's why I'm saying.
Name, really.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying that they've done plenty enough little hints.
The groundwork has been laid.
Yes.
Well, and there's the police too, right? The police are obviously a governmental body that the heroes work with.
Yes.
So
I mean, like the suit dudes that came in.
Yeah, the suit guys. Yeah,
it was in one of the anime episodes recently when they told the principal, like, yo, you finna have to keep this shit on lock because we're about to shut your ass down.
Yeah, so we know that there's exactly like Kiko was saying, exactly like you're bringing up right now. We know there's a governmental body of some kind that comes in to say this is what you need to cover up and this is what is okay to release to the public.
There's been a tiny bit, and we can blow it up.
And we know that Koei is just waiting to pull that because he wouldn't establish it and lay the groundwork for it.
If he hits me off with some huge political fucking ramifications after this,
I'm board.
I'll be on the goated train.
Yes.
I just will be.
Yes.
But okay, as much as I want to talk about all this, man, I got some other good shit to talk about.
Yes, from this chapter.
Please go. Sorry.
So the fact that Hawks' name is supposed to be a secret, right?
Yeah.
Yes, and here it is. Dobby knows him.
Dobby knows what's it? Takami or something like that? Which
Takego
looks like Hawk.
Takami.
Yeah.
Takami looks like Hawk. Take is Hawk.
Takami, like me would be like sight, me, and then Taka, here sounds like a hawk. Me is ears, but me is like a verb, I think, for sight in Japanese.
So that's pretty cool. But what I really want to go with there is that so we know Hawks is 23 years old.
Yeah.
we know that Fuyumi, Todoroki's oldest sister, Shoto's oldest sister, is 23.
Yeah.
Dabi, we don't have a firm age on him, but what if he's Fuyumi's twin? He's the fire twin and she's the ice twin. And they were in school together.
They went to school together.
They went to school together.
The school together makes total sense.
Wow.
Yes.
And you want to know what, dude? Someone on Twitter was talking about how, you remember the ending chapters? Where Ending captured Natsuo? And Endeavor came. Someone on Twitter was talking about how there was a dialogue that Ending had about how I was just, doing something in the world or whatever, and I came across you when you apprehended that one criminal named Takami. He used that name again. He said Takami. Ending did. Back then with Endeavor.
So Endeavor apprehended Hawks as a villain and
or
hero?
Because we know that Hawks we know that Hawks' life has kind of been molded to become a hero since a young age. He has a very Angel from X-Men kind of upbringing, where they realized the potential of his quirk at a young age, and they were like, you're going to be something great, so we're going to mold you into what we think a hero should be based on how tight you are. And we know that Hawks kind of maybe underneath everything kind of harbors resentment for that upbringing, and that he didn't really get a choice as to who he wanted to be. You know what I mean? So there's a little bit more depth, that could kind of bleed into a villainous light in that regard. Yeah. But maybe, and we know that he was poor and that he was taken in by the government to be great. But his life before that was basically in poverty. So the ending chapters was talking about how Endeavor apprehended a thief with the name Takami, or whatever the word is, whatever the name is. So that would make sense that Hawks' father maybe was a bank robber, and that would play into how poor he was before he was taken in by the government.
Oh, that Endeavor apprehended Hawks' father.
Yes. And Dabi knows that because obviously he's related to Endeavor and is keeping tabs on the Todoroki life. The Todoroki family life.
Sure,
I mean?
Okay.
So that was something really cool that I saw on fucking Twitter that kind of fucking blew me.
Because Hawks was at some point in his life raised by the government at some point.
Because they were yo, you're a wing hero. We need that. You can do all types of crazy shit. Yeah. We can turn you into something really great, and they just kind of plucked him out.
I do remember that, because that's also kind of reinforces why his actual government is. Nobody's supposed to know. It's a secret. His government name is a secret. Yeah. And because he's also a double agent, for the, government / school. That's the other thing too. How can you be a double agent without the government? But
he has a very Angel from X-Men Warren Worthington style upbringing there in that way. Yeah. And it's we've even seen that adapted in X-Men 2. You get that in the X-Men 2 movie. Fucking Warren Worthington didn't fucking want his wings anymore, and he was fucking trying to file them off because his father was a huge government official that was we need to hide your talents from everyone, but you're supposed to do something great. Yeah, super rich
family. Super really rich. Prestigious family.
Yeah, absolutely. It's just crazy seeing the fucking Western comic book parallels in this shit like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh, this is definitely the manga most aligned with Western comics for sure.
Absolutely. Even inside of the fucking chapter, cover designs, they have the same, the exact same aesthetic. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, me being full otaku, I'm there's not enough after images in this.
There isn't enough after images, though.
I need after image and blocks.
Yeah.
And then
we'll get that from Ojiro. Ojiro is gonna, when we get the Ojiro arc, we're gonna get the tail hero arc. We're gonna get all types of shit like that.
But yes, that's just, man, beautiful chapter. I swear to God, Twice better be dead. And man,
because he knows what lifestyle he's leading. He knows as much as we care about Twice and as much characterization. He's my favorite character. Yes, as much characterization as Kohei has given him, he's still a villain. He still is completely cognizant of the wrongdoing he's doing. And he blew it multiple times. You shouldn't survive that, or at least not get arrested, and he's not down to get arrested, so he's gotta go. Yeah. He knows what life he's living, and he knows what that lifestyle could eventually mean for him. Toga's ready to die. Compress is ready to die. Shigaraki's ready to die. They know what the fuck they're doing, dude. And like, you can say this sucks, I love Twice, I hate for his character to leave the story, but it would be a bad story if he didn't get arrested or die right now.
He's my favorite character, and if he doesn't die, then I will lose. Because it's like this just caps my favorite character for me, and then he's like pristine in my memory of a perfect character.
He had an incredible character arc.
Yes, it's beautiful. Yeah. And now that you mentioned Shigaraki's name, I forgot, but his little mouse shit came off. He's about to activate.
No.
What do you
got? I was looking at that. It is still on. The face is still. It's just clear.
But at the same time, though, I saw also on Twitter, someone said some crazy ass shit about how. Hold on. It'll take me 2 seconds to find it because it's in one of my group chats. Hold on. Give me two, because I'm about to bang y'all over the head real quick.
You look at that, Kiko. If you look on page 9, that's the panel with Shigaraki.
Yeah.
If you look, he has like 2 dots on his cheeks, and like the face mask is still on. So I was going to mention that he has not activated yet.
So this tweet says from @Christy2500 says, so you know how 4 is considered an unlucky number in Japanese, since sometimes it can be pronounced as she, which means death.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, next Saturday will be April 4th, which is Shigaraki's birthday.
Wow.
Yes.
So next week would be a great chapter for him to activate. That would be sick.
Yes, dude. Fuck
yeah, but it'll probably be like a final panel type shit, you know? At the end.
Sure.
I'm thinking the way it'll go is Shigaraki will wake up. He'll kind of activate a little bit. He'll start his rampage. We'll get other perspectives, bouncing back and forth from Shigaraki from, week to week. And then the tide will shift in favor of the villains because it's been way too good for fucking heroes so far. And we know that, Kohei's a more compelling storyteller than that. So it's not just going to go perfectly for them. Obviously, Giganto Machia hasn't done anything. Shigaraki hasn't done anything. So I think he'll start his rampage. We'll get some skirmishes here and there that kind of bounce the fucking tide back and forth throughout the next couple of weeks. And then maybe in 15 chapters at the conclusion of this arc, we'll see, all right, Shigaraki and Giganto Machia took the fucking whole bout, and we enter an age of villainy moving forward, or a time skip or something like that into the Shippuden of the story or something. I would love to see it.
I'm for it. Yeah. I'm for it.
Yeah.
Yep. Well,
that's it.
I think that's about it for Hero.
Yeah, dude.
That's all I had.
Yeah, incredible conversation tonight.
Another great episode in the books.
5 chapters, no problem.
No problem.
Well, that'll do it for this episode of the Project Manga podcast. Thank you all so much for watching. If you did, make sure you smash that like button. If you enjoyed this episode, make sure you smash that subscribe button and hit that noti bell, and we will chirp you every time we come out with some new shit. Make sure you leave a comment down below in the comment section. Let us know what you thought of this week in Jump, and also leave any questions for us down there as well. And as always, make sure that you visit that link tree in the description box down below, where you can find the links to any and all of our online communities, audio listening platforms, and links to support the podcast if you are so generous.
Yeah.
And with all those words said, as always, this will be another fantastic episode of the Project Manga podcast. Wrapping up, I'm your host, Eagle.
It's your boy, Kiko.
Noxie.
And Nickums.
Peace.